A very warm welcome to the show, The Winning Attitude. The Winning Attitude is a show that is here to encourage you and to lift you and to make you know and to let you know that no matter who you are, or where you come from, you can make it in life. Most of the time I say that life can put either positive or negative thing in front of you, but you have the power to put the positive to be negative, the negative to be positive. That will depend on what you want in life. Like today, I have guests with me here. I love them so much, but I'm going to give them time to introduce themselves to the viewers, to let them know who they are. Now that we are three of us, two ladies and one gentleman, we're gonna give the gentleman time to introduce himself. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I thank God for this opportunity just to be here one more time. My name's James Souma, and part of the Winners TV, and I know you've been following the Praise Break and all other programs like the Woman at the Well, and I normally do the Praise Break and the Gospel Hour, and so I thank God for giving us this opportunity so that we will talk about negativity in oneself. Thank you.
Welcome, James. He's the man behind, or the power behind a program called Praise Break and Gospel Hour. And now to the lady, our beautiful lady.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. I'm always happy and excited. My name is Kristen Joy. I'm the woman at the well that comes and appears to you every Sunday from 8 p.m. on Winners TV. God bless you and welcome to the talk.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, James. Welcome, viewers. Our topic of today is going to be a negative attitude. How do we reach a point whereby we have this negative attitude in our lives? And what do you mean by having a negative attitude? Like I said before, life puts either negative or positive. But how do you deal with that? If something is negative, do you continue making it more and more negative? If something is positive, do you start to put it negative, or you can put it more and more to be positive? And our topic of today is having a negative attitude. If I may talk to you, James, if I may ask you, how do you describe someone who always have a negative attitude in his life or in her life? How do you describe such a person? How do you define such a person?
Well, I must say that someone with a negative attitude is someone that is not constructive or cooperative. He's someone who doesn't want to think for themselves. He's someone who doesn't want to cooperate with other people. And he's also someone who finds, who takes mistakes for failures. Yes, he doesn't accept that this is a mistake. He thinks or she thinks that it is a failure on their part. And so makes it very hard for them to be corrected or to be made to follow and change and adapt to a different way. And also is a person or a woman that doesn't adapt to change. They don't want to adapt to the situations at hand.
That's great. I can say a negative attitude person is a person who sees, he or she sees nothing good out of every situation that she or he encounters.
Correct.
Everything is always negative. Nothing like positive, What about you, Christine?
Yeah, a negative person is someone, a person that has these automatic thoughts that runs through their head that are negative. That person is automatic. In their head, they're only negative things. They don't see anything good. They don't see anything good about themselves and about people. And we have those people.
We have them.
Sometimes it can be with yourself. When negative things deals with everybody.
Yeah, and when you have that negative thoughts all the time or attitude, if it's you, you cannot know. It's people will see it.
That's
but
right.
A negative attitude person, it becomes, sometimes it's very difficult for that person to accept that he or she has a negative attitude. So, by the way, what are the factors that contributes to a person having a negative attitude? Because We've met them before.
Mhm.
Some of them are our friends, some of them are our relatives, you know. I know, and I'm sure viewers, that you've encountered, you've met such people, that they're always negative in everything they do, in everything that people do. They see nothing good. But what are the factors? What is the cause of this thing?
First, I must say we have to look at how does a negative attitude-minded person look like, or the characteristics.
Do they have appearance or something?
Yeah, they have some characteristics.
Okay.
And one of them is aggression.
Mm.
They tend to be very aggressive
And arrogant.
and very good and very arrogant. You know, and then also they are very boastful. They think that whatever they do, whatever they carry, is kind of it's better.
Pride.
Yeah, it's better than anybody else. You know, so they're full of pride of themselves. They are bossy.
Those are characteristics
Yes.
of a negative attitude person.
They are very boring. So, for one, to understand if maybe you have a negative attitude, then you have to check on your aggression, on your arrogance, on your boastfulness, bossiness, boringness. In fact, they are very
But
boring.
is it okay? Let me ask you, James.
Yes.
Is it bad to be aggressive? Because so when someone is aggressive, or aggressive to what extent that makes a person look like he or she has a negative attitude, or when she's aggressive and at the same time the way he or she puts a little bit of competition inside it. I don't know.
Maybe we also have to look at the word, what is attitude? We need now to break down and to try to understand what is attitude.
Do it for us.
Because, yeah, attitude is a behavior of a person that adapts a certain behavior towards other people. You have attitude towards, you have adapted a behavior towards certain people. A negative, you have adapted a negative, you know, behavior. As in, when you see somebody, there's something that you think about them that is negative.
All the time.
You don't like the way they smile. You don't like the way they appear.
I think I can even say some of them, they're always suspicious about everything.
Yes.
When they see you passing, or maybe you are seated somewhere with a friend just talking, it's like,
Yeah.
talking about me, what
Yeah.
are they saying, you know?
Yeah, you become, you're not comfortable with the, you know, a negative person, what he does, he breaks, he kills the mood of people, he's a mood killer. And those kind of people, they are very dangerous people even to be around those kind of people. Because they will just, their agenda, their intention will just be how to, you know, destroy people's mood. You
That's
know,
right.
we have people that kill people's mood. And you don't want to be around those people. Because if you're around those people, then you'll understand and you're in trouble.
They wake up in the morning, they call you, bad news all the time, bad news. Okay, but now we are looking at the factors. What are the factors that contribute to a person having a negative? I believe there are factors, because no one was born like that, but at some point, or maybe you used to have a friend way back, then when you meet him, you know, later on, the person has changed totally. What happened to this person?
Yeah, most of the times there are these personal experiences that people go through.
Yes.
Harsh and life. You know,
Yes.
sometimes people go
They
through
say they're
harsh
hardcore.
life, terrible life. Life has not been fair, like you said. You know, the expectation that they had when they tried whatever everybody else is succeeding in, when they try putting their hand on it, or when they try, if they don't succeed. So it kills their motivation. You feel like you will lose. You know, negative things, when you have experience, you have experienced and you've been through tough and bad experiences, you develop a negative kind of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say experience is one of them.
Experience is one
That's
of
right.
them. Yeah.
What else, James?
You're feeling unappreciated.
Unappreciated.
You know, most of the people, when they tend to look like they are not appreciated in whatever they are doing, they develop that negative attitude towards other people.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to be recognized.
That's right.
You know, when you put a post on Facebook, you want likes.
You want likes.
So
People die outside here
when-
because of likes.
because of likes
Yes.
and comments. So when nobody comments, then
You think it's bad.
You become aggressive.
You become
Yeah, you begin to feel sadness.
Feel like
You are not happy.
You're not happy.
yeah.
You know,
Maybe
a
people
negative
don't like
person
it.
is always sad, and you will not understand why they're not happy, and they will always try to desire to make someone also not to be happy.
Yes.
They want to pull
So
down
I
someone
can say
down.
there's some things that we've caused. We've made people to have a negative attitude. Because
Yeah.
if I have a friend or maybe I have someone that I know that I love and I don't appreciate that person, you know,
Very good, yeah.
and then later on I start complaining about that person, not knowing that I am the cause. So learn to appreciate people
Yes.
that you know.
Sure.
Even people.
And that
That's
calls
right.
to
There are
gauging
people who
people.
never appreciate. Okay, maybe you don't know me or I don't know you. You put something that, of course, is something sensible, something
Yes.
you just don't even talk about it. But you, when you put, you know, you want people to like you,
like
you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is why now I say you need to gauge who is around you. Because the person that you bring in your circle, the people that you are always with, they will determine your outcome.
That's right.
How you operate, how you see things, your mindset. Because the people that, like I've said about how a negative person is always having these negative thoughts in their mind. So in their mind, you know, you could be like the way we are seated. You know, something in the mind is not something that is visible. You cannot see. A thought. That's why you see negative people. They are dangerous people going to be around them. And if you're not careful, and you have not understood somebody's personality, that's why now when you are bringing someone in your life, you have to start understanding to learn their personalities, whether this is a positive person or a negative person. Because negative people, they can cause any damage anytime. Because they react, their emotions are crushed. They don't see sense of anything. They're not happy. They are tired. They feel like nothing is bringing.
And you see, sometimes I tend to think, or I say, like, most ladies have, they have attitudes, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we are not all the same, we are not all equal. With men, it's not as much as ladies, you know. Appreciating a fellow lady, just telling that lady, today you look beautiful, or maybe the hairstyle you're having, all that thing you're doing is beautiful, becomes a big, it's like a mountain for a fellow lady to say that. You know, so sometimes as ladies we put our fellow ladies down. We plant that negative attitude towards them, such that they don't appreciate others. If someone doesn't appreciate, you know, it gets into you, and you also you start not by appreciating other ladies, because if they don't appreciate me, why should I appreciate them? You know.
Yeah, you begin, you know, you begin to corrupt. They begin to corrupt your attitude, so to say, because there are people that when you hang around, you start becoming like them, because bad character corrupt good
morals.
Good morals.
That's right.
So that's why when you are around people, it's important to understand and to learn why people behave the way they are behaving. There are people that even do not understand that they are negative.
Okay, another factor that I may talk about is prejudice. Let's say, like, there are people, just because I heard someone say something about that, you know, when you go there, this is what will happen to you. Or you see that lady, maybe I've heard about you, but I haven't met you. But someone told me that if you meet that person, he or she is like this. I haven't met that person yet, but I make a conclusion because of what I heard. I form a negative attitude towards you just because of something that I heard about you. Sometimes, you know, we do it that way, and we plant it in ourselves, or we plant it in other people. Just because I go tell James that, you know, I had such a thing about Christine, you know, but James doesn't know Christine very well. So James forms a negative attitude towards Christine, you know. So, like we said, experience, that is number one, and we've mentioned experience, and now prejudice. And what else makes a person contributes to a person having a negative attitude?
Poor relationship.
Poor relationship. How?
Because You know, once I do not get to have a good relationship with you, then I will not understand who you are. And if I don't understand who you are, then I will have a different attitude about you. So whether you say good things or whether you do good things, myself having created and having that attitude in me, I will always dislike whatever you do. That's what you were saying just before I took on, because many a times people who have not been in good relationships tend to have a negative attitude.
Yes.
Other
I
people.
know, I understand.
Yes.
Just to interrupt you, like, okay, ladies, most ladies, okay, if not all, they say men are dogs, men are, okay,
Yes.
just because
Yes.
one man, I mean, the relationship that I had with one man didn't work out. So I try to put it like all
So
men.
every other man
Is
is
the
the
same.
same.
Is the
So
same.
you have that attitude
I have that
towards
attitude.
men.
And that's what, you know, when
Which
you have that.
to some extent is a true, it has ruined many ladies and women out there. Like, you know, there's a time I had developed a negative attitude many years, and I remember this negative attitude dealt with me for a long time. It dealt with me until, you know, when you're negative, even your family are in trouble. Because you will be this person that wakes up and you are moody. Nobody is understanding
They
why
are
you are
always
moody.
moody, negative people.
You are so moody, you don't want anybody to speak to you, you don't want anyone to near you. You are someone that is unpredictable. Nobody will predict what will come to you, because sometimes I used to operate like I'm happy. The
Next
following
time.
morning, my attitude has really changed.
You're
My
down.
behavior, I'm so down because of remembering my experience. I had an experience I was sharing with Pastor James the other day. And I was telling him how God was able to arrest me and bring me back to ministry. And how I was able to form the woman at the well. The woman of the well is not a thing that I really wanted to do. It's something that the Lord really pursued and pushed and said, this thing, you are the right person. You know, we are called for different purposes.
That's right.
And there are some things that you look as they are negative, but in the end, if God gives you the power, like you've said, I like the way you introduced it, that it's upon a man or a person to decide whether to work on the positive and change it to positive. So I remember I told you when you were doing I was doing my story. I went to Nigeria and I met a man, and this man was proposing to me. And when this man came, and we were just trying to date, and it was online. But I had believed, I had known that this is the will, like it was the will of God, the way I was trying to go about it. Because his brother, who is a pastor in Kenya right now, and because I don't want to prolong the story, I just want to talk about the negative thing that I took from there. I took a negative perspective about men and of God. I really, because of how I was handled by his brother who was a pastor. And he too, he was born again. And he deceived me, and I didn't believe that a man of God can deceive somebody. And also the family, the parents are pastors. And I felt so bad because I felt cheated by the parents and the son. Why? Because I made a trip, I went to Nigeria just to to go through a difficult experience that I really God had to deal with me. Because when I came back after boarding, going to Nigeria, when I came back, I didn't know where to start and where to begin. I put off my phone, and I did not want to connect with anybody. And until now, I'm still in the process of healing and working on that. Because when I went there, I met this man, and he told me that he's a serious man and he wanted to marry me, just to discover that he was a man that had a family. So as we continued, when I went, the most serious thing that I did not learn, because when you're negative, you have to know you have to learn some things about life, that you don't need to go that way again. I also brought him to Kenya now. It's like he was now telling me that I don't know how he was able to convince me that it can still work. So I was able to bring him to Kenya, and he told me that now, I knew that now his brother that is a pastor here in Kenya is going to work out things, and
It will work.
it will work because of the promises that he had promised me that when he comes, you know, he's going to speak to his brother, and because of the trust I had in the man of God and how I was handling him, and how I was looking at him, I was seeing like he's really a true man of God, and he cannot allow me to be destroyed. I always say that he came to destroy my life. But the positive thing that I saw there is when I left